Lost in your wonderful ways.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the most disastrous financial and creative decisions in music history.
We have a comment from one of our producers, Ricky Camilleri, saying, does Lars regret the way in which he handled Napster back in the day?
Number 20. Bob Dylan releases self-portrait. The musical genius was riding high as the voice of his generation. Only Dylan didn't really like that distinction and wanted to subvert everyone's expectations for the sole purpose of shaking the obsessive following. So he released Self-Portrait, an album with awful production, odd cover songs, and live recordings. Fans eagerly bought the double album expecting another Blonde on Blonde, and they got this instead. Rolling Stone critic Grail Marcus summed up everyone's thoughts when he opened up his famous review with the question, "What is this crap?" Only he didn't say crap. To be honest, we don't know if this was a mistake or just Dylan trolling. Either way, he never really regained his 60s relevance. Number 19. NWA signs with Jerry Heller.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Signing with Jerry Heller was, in hindsight, like inviting someone to manage your money who seems a little too enthusiastic about managing your money. It's true that Heller helped take NWA from local legends to arena stars and controversy magnets, but the contracts he arranged tended to benefit Heller far more than the artists creating the actual music. While NWA was challenging authority and creating gangsta rap, Heller was quietly ensuring his own financial security, and often at the band's own expense. The result was a storm of mistrust, feuding, legal disputes, and lasting resentment that eventually broke apart the group just 4 years after they formed. In the words of Dre, the split came when Jerry Heller got involved.
Jerry took advantage of you. I know it's a lot, but you had to know the truth sometime. Now you do.
You know, Dre and Cube tried to warn me about this.
Number 18. Ja Rule creates the Fire Festival.
We got major news. Ja Rule just called us, basically said he wants us to pitch him for his new app, Fire.
Ja Rule once helped shape the sound of early 2000s hip-hop. Then, he helped shape one of the most spectacular failures in music history. Fire Festival was marketed as an ultra-luxurious getaway with good music, gorgeous villas, gourmet food, expensive yachts, and famous influencers partying in paradise. What attendees actually got was disaster relief tents, wet mattresses, canceled concerts, and cheese sandwiches. Instead of launching a lifestyle empire, the event launched news reports, documentaries, and numerous lawsuits that turned Ja Rule into a running joke. He was eventually cleared of all wrongdoing, but his reputation went up in flames.
I remember I first heard about Fire Festival at a music festival conference in Las Vegas. Ja Rule was a keynote speaker, and he unveiled this festival that they were going to do in the Bahamas, and everyone at the table I was sitting with just started laughing. They were like, yeah, good luck, Ja Rule, like, build a music festival because it's so easy.
Number 17. U2 forces their album onto everyone's iTunes.
Even if you're not big into following Apple news, most people by now have heard about the new iPhone 6 models and the Apple Watch, but not everyone was aware of one smaller detail in Apple's announcement.
In what could very nicely be called a bold marketing move, U2 teamed up with Apple to place their new album Songs of Innocence directly into everyone's iTunes library. The world woke up, checked their phones, and wondered why an album they didn't buy or even want was suddenly taking up space. While Bono thought it would be a gift to humanity, the response was more, "Please take this off my phone and never do anything like it ever again." Privacy concerns exploded. Memes flooded the internet, and Apple had to release a special tool just to delete the album. And you know, maybe the backlash wouldn't have been so bad if this was another Joshua Tree or Achtung Baby. It was not.
Look, if anyone, wanted to call time on us, we've been around a while and we just wanted to do something fresh, something that no one else had done. And, it turns out some people don't believe in Father Christmas. And I see Father Christmas in their lounge on Christmas morning. They just want to give Father Christmas a good kicking. Good kicking.
Number 16. Drake comes after Kendrick.
Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Drake just can't stop losing. It's almost sad at this point. His diss track Duppy Freestyle caused Pusha T to release the story of Adidon, revealing that Drake had a secret son and arguing that he appropriates black culture. So Drake lost that one. And then he went after Kendrick Lamar. Following a series of increasingly personal disses, Kendrick released both Meet the Grams and Not Like Us, both of which effectively killed Drake in the public perception. Drake sulked away and sued Universal for releasing the song. Kendrick won 5 Grammys for Not Like Us and played it at the Super Bowl. By this point, we could only think of that famous Simpsons meme. Stop, stop, he's already dead.
Stop! Stop! He's already dead.
Number 15. Prince changes his name to a symbol.
The Prince love symbol was revealed for the first time this morning. That symbol was created in the early 90s that would become part of his legacy for the rest of his life.
In the 90s, Prince waged war against his record label by changing his name to a symbol, unpronounceable by human tongues, although it went by the name Love Symbol. As political statements go, pretty bold. As for branding, a bit of a nightmare. Fans didn't know what to call him. Journalists needed special fonts, and the media just ignored the statement by calling him the artist formerly known as Prince. And his sales plummeted. After adopting the stage name in 1993, he never again had a top 5 studio album, and only one of 11 reached the top 10. It wasn't until Musicology in 2004 that Prince again reached the top 5, and probably not coincidentally, after changing his name back to Prince. Number 14. Elvis says no to A Star Is Born.
I'm Esther Hoffman Howard.
That's right. And don't you ever forget it.
This is one of the greatest what-ifs in music history. Barbra Streisand personally approached Elvis Presley to play the male lead in the 1976 remake of A Star Is Born. Elvis showed great interest and personally met with Streisand, believing it could revive his career and return him to the big screen after years away. But Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, demanded too much money, so negotiations tanked, and the gig went to Chris Christopherson. The film was a huge hit and received 4 Oscar nominations. Meanwhile, Elvis went back to Vegas. His health worsened further, and he died in 1977 at just age 42. A major potential comeback slipped through his fingers, and all because his manager couldn't resist playing hardball.
And we can build on suspicious mind.
Number 13. Lou Reed releases Metal Machine Music. After leaving the Velvet Underground, Lou Reed seemed poised for a great solo career. Walk on the Wild Side was a hit, and 1974's Sally Can't Dance was his first top 10 album. The next year came Metal Machine Music, and that was about it for Reed. The double album was nothing but screeching guitar feedback. No melody, no structure, just noise, pushing the limits of human patience for 64 minutes. Some avant-garde fans called it genius. Everyone else called it unlistenable. Critics assumed it was a prank. Record stores wanted it off their shelves, and it was even taken off the market after just 3 weeks. The album became a benchmark of awful, and Reed never again had a top 10 album in America. Number 12. Billy Squier releases the Rock Me Tonight music video.
That's not what I mean. We go down in the shadows and crawl between.
Billy Squier was riding high with killer rock hits like The Stroke, until a disastrous music video sent his career into a nosedive. In Rock Me Tonight, Squier prances around a neon bedroom wearing pastel shirts and dancing in ways that hard rock audiences were just not prepared for. Devoted fans fled in droves, concert sales plummeted, and Squier fired his managers. Rock culture and music historians now label it as the defining moment that killed his career, a sentiment that Squire himself agrees with. Ironically, Rock Me Tonight is also Squire's highest charting single on the Hot 100. Now, how many artists can claim that their most successful song is also the one that ruined them forever?
Take me to your heart. Rock me tonight.
Number 11. MC Hammer goes on a disastrous spending spree.
Hammer time.
MC Hammer proved that "You Can't Touch This" does not apply to debt collectors. At the height of his fame, MC Hammer was worth about $70 million, but he spent it like money was going out of fashion, like hammer pants. He supported friends and family, which is admirable, but he also hired a personal entourage, bought thoroughbred racehorses, collected luxury cars, and invested heavily in a mansion with a price tag worthy of a comic book villain. Before long, the $70 million was blown, and he was $13 million in debt. Sales dried up, but his debt did not, and Hammer famously filed for bankruptcy in 1996. He became the poster child for music industry overspending, proving that even chart-topping fame has its limits.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Number 10. Steven Van Zandt quits the E Street Band. Steven Van Zandt joined Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band around the time of Born to Run, joining the group for their complimentary 1975 tour. He stayed with the band for years before leaving in 1984 to focus on his solo career. Bad move. That same year, Springsteen released the enormously popular Born in the USA, which catapulted both him and the band to superstardom. While Van Zandt co-produced and played on the record, he did not tour for it, replaced by Niles Lofgren. Van Zandt told Rolling Stone in 2020 that leaving the band was a mistake he's never recovered from, and that financially, it was apocalyptic. Still, he later found success as Silvio on The Sopranos. So, that's something.
I was just trying to sweep the cheese away from
Why? Why now? Leave it there.
Number 9. Ashley Simpson decides to lip sync on SNL.
Once again, Ashley Simpson.
On a Monday, I am waiting. Tuesday, I am fading.
Ashley Simpson was on the rise in the early 2000s with her debut album Autobiography being a big hit. And then came the legendary night of October 23, 2004. Simpson supposedly had acid reflux that night, so she decided to lip sync her performance on SNL. And when the wrong vocal track started playing, the singer froze, did a funny hoedown, and awkwardly jigged her way off stage. Millions watched the moment live, instantly turning her from an up-and-comer to a national punchline. It was viral before viral was even a thing, and you know, it wouldn't be so bad if she didn't blame her band. But she did, and it was momentous, and it put a permanent stain on Simpson's professional reputation.
Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? Live TV.
Exactly. I feel so bad my band started playing the wrong song, and I didn't know what to do, so I thought I'd do a hoedown.
Number 8. Guns N' Roses keep delaying Chinese democracy. You know what really kills a career? A 15-year gap between projects. Guns N' Roses were once the coolest band in the world, but their career hit a brick wall in the early 90s following the spaghetti incidents. The band's follow-up Chinese Democracy became Rose's personal obsession, so much so that it would take over a decade to create. The album was plagued by constant rewrites, rotating band members, relentless infighting, and a ballooning production budget that eventually exceeded $13 million. And when the album finally arrived in 2008, it was met with a collective, meh. It sold well, but few cared for the music, and the band's reputation remained stuck in the 90s. Number 7. Garth Brooks becomes Chris Gaines.
Baby, I have found I get lost in you.
In 1999, country megastar Garth Brooks decided to reinvent himself as Chris Gaines, an Australian rock star with emo hair and a soul patch. It was bewildering. Brooks had big plans for Chris, including a fictional biopic, and he appeared as Gaines in a Saturday Night Live episode that he was hosting as himself. But the mainstream public had little interest in this Chris Gaines fella, and Brooks fans didn't want their cowboy god looking like he was cosplaying Professor Snape. Despite a hit song with Lost in You, the Gaines character was a huge flop and the movie was canceled before it even began. The Curious Experiment has gone down as perhaps the most baffling identity crisis in music history.
Chrissy, I hate to tell you this.
I know. Garth is Chris Gaines. You really think I'm stupid, don't you? I mean, did you hear the album?
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, man. I just can't believe he did that album.
These are strange times.
Number 6. Milli Vanilli fake their entire career.
On the front page, one day after it was revealed that the pop duo Milli Vanilli didn't sing on their hit album, few in the music industry are surprised, but many did not realize the extent of the deception.
This R&B duo had it all. Chart-topping hits, Grammys, and the coolest jackets of 1989. Then a disastrous live performance exposed the truth. The duo wasn't actually singing. In fact, they never were singing. Following the infamous MTV fiasco, the band's producer, Frank Farian, announced that the vocals actually belonged to different studio singers, not Fab Morvan and Rob Pilatus. The Grammy was revoked, their careers collapsed overnight, and they tried to save face by making them sing for real, but that only made things worse. So instead of being remembered for catchy pop perfection, Milli Vanilli became the universal shorthand for musical fraud. Number 5. Simon Cowell passes on the Spice Girls.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really wanna zig ah.
Simon Cowell is known for spotting pop gold, but even the best talent scouts miss a few opportunities. Legend has it that the Spice Girls gave an impromptu audition to Cowell in a parking lot, but the music mogul wasn't impressed and turned them down. Cowell says otherwise, claiming they rejected his offer. Either way, a deal was not made, and these random people off the street soon became the biggest girl group on the planet, selling millions of records and launching a global cultural phenomenon. Cowell later admitted that letting them go was the biggest regret of his career. Instead of riding the Spice hype train all the way to the bank, he watched from the platform as the girls revolutionized pop.
I need some love like I never needed love before. Wanna make love to you.
Number 4. Kanye West interrupts Taylor Swift at the VMAs.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
You know, looking back, it was all downhill from here. The 2009 VMAs were going smoothly until Kanye West stormed the stage, grabbed Taylor Swift's mic, and declared that Beyoncé should have won instead. The audience booed, the internet exploded, and a massive cultural storm was born. Kanye was already known for being unpredictable and eccentric, but it was this moment that catapulted him into full-on jerk territory, and he hasn't really let up since. Taylor's shocked reaction became iconic. Beyoncé looked uncomfortable as all heck, and Kanye's reputation took a major, permanent hit. If he never stormed this stage and turned himself into a troll, who knows what the future would have held.
Ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
Number 3. Metallica sues Napster.
And then we were sort of like a little bit like deer caught in headlights, and then obviously we stood our ground and fought the fight. But obviously it was a difficult time. I mean, it's not easy being finger whacked at that level.
Metallica helped define the heavy metal rebellion and then stopped their fans from sharing their music. Now, how metal is that? When Napster made file sharing popular in the early 2000s, Metallica became the face of the anti-piracy crackdown. Their arguments about protecting artists' rights weren't wrong per se, but the optics were absolutely brutal. Late-night shows mocked them endlessly. Lars Ulrich became a meme, and Fans accused them of being greedy and selling out to their corporate overlords. The lawsuit helped shut Napster down but damaged Metallica's cool factor for good. It wasn't a great PR move for a band once seen as the voice of the people and the downtrodden. Even today, Metallica is still known as the band that sued Napster.
Look, there's Lars now sitting by his pool.
What's the matter with him?
This month he was hoping to have a gold-plated Shark Tank bar installed right next to the pool, but thanks to people downloading his music for free, he must now wait a few months before he can afford it.
Number 2. The Beatles hire Alan Klein.
It was bad enough that all that money we'd earned and all that fame was going down the pan.
Yes.
And there was this guy who was going to take it all. And it was that close.
Yes.
And I was having to fight and say, no, guys, we can keep it. We don't have to give it to this guy, you know.
There are countless reasons as to why the Beatles broke up, but a big one was Alan Klein. In their final tension-filled years, the Beatles couldn't even agree on management. Paul wanted Lee Eastman, a respected business mind, and conveniently his future father-in-law. The rest chose Alan Klein, a music manager with a reputation bordering on professional chaos agent. Klein pushed aggressive financial tactics which strained already strained relationships to their breaking point and accelerated the group's breakup. Years later, accusations of mismanagement piled up, along with some lawsuits. Yes, the Beatles already had internal issues, but everything collapsed once Klein took control of Apple.
I think I'll be leaving the band now.
When?
Now.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Rolling Stones hire the Hells Angels for Altamont.
Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? We don't want to fight. Come on.
Numerous things are blamed for ending the 60s, and the Altamont free concert is one of them. Trying to recreate Woodstock on the West Coast, the Rolling Stones hosted the concert and reportedly allowed their management to hire the Hells Angels as security and paid them in beer. It was a disaster waiting to happen. The environment soon became dangerous, with countless people being injured, 1 drowning in a canal, and 2 being killed in a hit and run. And then, of course, there was the death of Meredith Hunter, stabbed and killed by Hells Angel Alan Pissarro. Instead of delivering a harmonious moment of counterculture, peace, and love, Altamont became a horrifying cautionary tale of violence. Rock and roll may celebrate rebellion, but hiring actual outlaws was a little too on the nose.
Hey people! Hey people! Come on, let's be cool. People, please. There's no reason to hassle anybody.
What do you make of these decisions? Right call or no? Let us know in the comments below.